What is going on, Browns fans? Well, welcome back to the Cleveland Pulse YouTube channel. I am your host, Justin Harold, and with me, as always, my co-host, Jeff Santa. Today is January 6th, 2025. This is the first time Jeff and I have gotten together for a Browns video in the new year. Welcome, everyone. It's good to be back, but in not so great fashion. Maybe the ending that we needed for this Browns team just to get out of the season. And so, with that being said, Jeff, I see it on your face, but I have to ask, how you doing? What are your thoughts?
I'm doing good, thank God. Get that putrid season over with 3 stupid ass wins against teams that somehow you have 3 wins, Justin. It's amazing to me. You have 3 wins. You're gonna tell me before the season, all right? You had a 7.5. I don't even know what the win total was. 7.5, 8.5 win total before the season. Over under for all the gambling folks out there. You're gonna win 8 or I don't even remember what it was. I think it was 8.5. All right, so you could win 9 games, allegedly per the gambling market. You beat Jacksonville. Okay, that's feels like it was 10 years ago when you beat Jacksonville, and somehow you split the season series with 2 of your division rivals. I can't tell you how that happened. And to put the cherry on top, the one home game I did attend this year, they won. I saw 33% of the Cleveland Browns victories in the sweet year of 2024. So, yeah, we're going to get our lip service press conference from Andrew Berry. We got our lip service press conference from Kevin Stefanski yesterday. We're going to have 115 days of unbearable draft talk discussion, and we're going to hope to not be the laughingstock of the league in 2025.
Well put, Jeff. The season ended for the Cleveland Browns 2 days ago, January 4th on a Saturday. Losing 35-10 to the Baltimore Ravens to end the season. A few notable things that happened after that loss. Offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey fired.
Good.
Offensive line coach fired.
Terrible.
So those were immediate. Jeff did a video on it. You guys need to go check it out. He did a great breakdown of everything over there. But obviously a huge, kind of talking point there, just going from, what Jeff hit right on the nail on the head right away. 3 wins this year, away from 11 wins last year and a playoff appearance with Alex Van Pelt. And not to just note Alex Van Pelt's departure, but kind of a clean sweep amongst the entire offensive coordinating staff. And I think obviously there's a storyline there. If Jeff wants to get into it, we can. But all I'm going to say there is to see the OC and to see the offensive line coach leave, and then to hear what we heard yesterday from players, especially on the offensive line, was very telling of how the offense changed and how it changed for the worse. It does seem like the team wants to go back to what is known as the Kevin Stefanski offense, which, again, I think is my one good takeaway from this season is that Kevin Stefanski is firmly seen as, a competent coach at the very least, but a well-respected coach to most of these guys. And so I think the hope is that they find someone more to Kevin's, gear in terms of an offensive coordinator and an offensive line coach. Obviously, 3 offensive coordinators in 3 years. Not a great look, but also not too sure all those decisions were made by GM and coach. So that being said, obviously there is going to be, like Jeff said, a lot to be covered in the following months leading up to the draft, free agency. But I think that all is for naught with this team. Of course, 3 wins is horrific. But there were signs of, I think, not the best stuff. Even in the games that we did have fun and whatnot, I think that there were still signs of life, and there's still signs of life with a lot of the core guys wanting to return. Obviously, you've heard Myles Garrett rumblings. You've heard the Nick Chubb contract stuff. So obviously, like we said, a lot to get into there. But Jeff, what is your one takeaway from this season? If it is any different from mine.
Honestly, it's just you can't even underestimate how bad it really was, because you're in the wild card last year, whatever. And I think a lot of people are going to be like, well, it was a different season. I think this really all started when we lost the Houston game the way we did. Take me back, and if that's like a field goal or a 1-score game in Houston, I don't know. I feel like the franchise is in a different spot. I know people are going to disagree with me that, oh, that was last season. This season, come out and Deshaun starting anyway, and it was all going to be bad. And Jameis Winston is all right. Okay, whatever. And if we won that playoff game, yeah, it's obviously a totally different outlook for, the foreseeable future. But people really forget quickly that, okay, here's the thing, and I don't even know why I'm harping on this, but yes, okay, when the betting markets come out and they say 8.5 wins, you know how hard it is to win 11, 10, 11, 12 football games in the National Football League? Is very difficult. 9 wins with some help gets you into the playoffs, if not just 9 wins by yourself. So you could have survived. You could have weathered. You could have sustained like a 7 or 8 win season this year. 3 wins? You don't even have a shot. 3 wins and you're getting into, is Bitonio going to retire? 3 wins and, Nick Chubb breaks his foot. What are we doing with his future? 3 wins and Myles Garrett, is he going to ask for a trade? You know what I love seeing? I love opening up my phone and seeing week 1, Myles Garrett goes and wants to talk to the top brass about a plan. That's fine. That's understandable. He deserves that. That's something that he should, totally be. Nobody should be dragging him for that. The next week, open my phone. Oh, Myles Garrett, just said he got done talking with LeBron. All right, cool. Who else is good at leaving the city? LeBron? Okay, he's the best person to talk to if you want to get the hell out of here and try to win, sporting events. So you open yourself up to a lot of this nonsense. Whether or not Stefanski hired Dorsey, Andrew Berry claims today in the press conference that it's a Stefanski call. I don't know. I feel bad for Stefanski and all of it. People are going to disagree. People are going to say fire him, clean house, whatever. All the way back to if he was deciding to play Baker hurt to now, I feel like he's taken the most shit and has had the least amount of say out of everybody.
I totally agree. I mean, honestly, it's the last 4 years is what's the toughest for him, obviously, when you get into the trade and, everything that gets handled into that. Because you watch Hard Knocks, you see how closely GMs and coaches work together and whatnot. But ultimately, you also see how closely the upper management and the ownership is involved. And I think for what it has been rumored and what you have seen in the past with the Haslams, and of course what's going on with the stadium now and everything, they very much want to have a hand in their investment of the Browns. And I think that, again, there's a right to it, but also acknowledging your own sports knowledge, which, again, I don't know how long they've been the owners of the Milwaukee Bucks. They might have a championship in recent memory, but their ownership of the Browns hasn't been great, and the Bucks aren't heading in a great direction right now. So they're kind of not the greatest owners that I've
correct.
They've
literally cooked this franchise from, Manziel debacle. All right, okay,
and that's another one that you get blown up on for national TV, like. It's
just like you're not that smart. Like apparently, like you're not like, all right, okay. Some front offices and some organizations and some owners, you have displayed a level of confidence and a level of competence where you could go and make a big swing. And that's what me, and maybe not everybody, but I'm just speaking for me. That's what I didn't understand before the Watson move. That's what I didn't get. A competent franchise that has good ownership and has consistency and knows what they're doing can take a big swing on a big risk. Mm-hmm. This is going to be anything else. Pick a franchise. Oh, Baltimore needed a quarterback. They would have traded for Watson. He would have been good. Or he would have been winnable. He would have been able to win you games. And I'm not saying that I don't want to, it's cursed, whatever it may be. But listen, and this is going to be my thing. Every time we hop on to record this offseason, this is going to be my message. Just play it safe. You just play it safe. If Myles asks for a trade, just trade him. Literally just trade him. If you're if you're thinking about drafting someone who has baggage, who has drama, who has off the field issues with this first round pick, and someone who doesn't, they have no problem, just play it safe. You're not smart enough. You're not good enough. You're not well enough ran to make all these. Oh, the risk is an F. The upside's an A+, but the risk is an F. Give me a B+ move with like C risk. That's all I ask for.
Yeah, I mean, there are going to be some, I wouldn't say risks taken, but I think there will be chances taken, especially in the quarterback room. You heard Andrew Berry say that there is going to be a change. I don't think you're going to see a single face outside of I don't even know that you're going to see Watson's face. You'll see his name written on the depth chart for a while. But I don't think you'll see DTR. Maybe you'll see him on the practice squad.
No, not seeing any of these guys. They should all be gone. They should all be gone. I don't even know how DTR is employed. Get them out.
Yeah. But you're going to see they're going to draft a quarterback, whether it is with that first round pick.
They might draft 2 quarterbacks.
Exactly. You're not wrong. There have been teams that have done that in the past. Teams have absolutely done that in the past with later round picks.
There's definitely going to be 2 or 3 new quarterbacks in the quarterback room.
I mean, even let's just talk about the game of last most talking worth yesterday. The New England Patriots with the guy that was rumored to be a Browns prospect.
I'd take that guy.
Yeah, and I mean, why not trade for a guy that if they're interested in or they think May's the guy, why not give them a pick higher than he was, a round higher or 2 rounds higher than what that guy ended up going for.
Yep.
That being said, again, there's going to be a lot of change. I hope that a lot of the core guys stay, but there's going to be, again, safeties, linebackers, defensive line. There are holes everywhere on this team now. 3 years ago, not as many, and now it's kind of been like we've gone 3 years without a first-round pick, so it kind of shows. And unfortunately, what you get with first-round picks? You get secured talent for at least 4 years, And unfortunately, you've missed out on 3 of that. We're going to hopefully get our first shot at that with this one.
And honestly, like however bad you think this season was, it's just worse. Like however bad you think it actually was, it's worse.
Matter.
And just everything is all encompassing. I mean, last year and we've been doing this, for 4 years, 4+ years that we've been covering in season, off season, preseason,
like
postseason.
5 seasons though, Jeff, right?
5 seasons, but
seasons?
Yeah. 4 seasons on YouTube. So, we see it. We see the ups and downs and the ebbs and flows, and there's taking 1 step forward and 2 step backwards. The NFL, you have this much time in the NFL. If you're good, if you're really good, you have this much time. If you're bad, your window is like, if you call a playoff appearance a window, but from last year, like people are easy to forget this. And I understand you don't really want to talk about it because, this season was such a waste and down the drain, but you're 11-6 last year and you're in a playoff game. Yes, you don't perform well. I get it. All right. So let's think about this. Let's think about the team, the start of the 2023 season. Everything that's transpired from now. Nick Chubb, never going to be the same guy. Sorry. I don't want to say it. I don't want to believe it. I saw the injury live. I saw the original injury live in the flesh. He's not going to be that guy. It's unfortunately just over for him. Like he could be a serviceable backup, I think, in this league. Maybe 3rd down guys, short yardage, whatever. Hopefully he proves me wrong. I would love to see him come back in a Browns uniform, rush for 1,000 yards. I don't think it's happening. Okay, let's keep it going. Watson sucks, whatever. Who's had more injuries than Deshaun Watson the last 3 years?
Yeah.
Nobody, literally nobody. Achilles, shoulder.
Unless you account the numerous Denzel Ward concussions.
He's had 4 or 5 concussions. Okay, so you lose your best offensive player last year. This year, you're 7 or 8 weeks, 9 weeks removed from the injury, and you don't even know if one of your top 3 defensive players is going to play football again. You don't even know if JOK is even going to see the field again. So cool, awesome. I know it's our bad luck. I understand that, but all right, Chubb, the best player that we've had on offense since we drafted him, basically, in my opinion, goes down. Probably not going to be the same. Andrew Berry's really one of his only good draft picks is getting 19 different consultations about a very serious neck injury. No one's going to say, oh, let's bring him back if he can't play.
Yeah.
Myles Garrett, so there's timelines of teams. Yes, we're an old team. Yes, we're going to have to make some moves and the 3 first-round picks not having them hurt. But when you manufacture nonsense on your roster plus the bad luck, I mean, this roster is in trouble. You're not a quarterback away. You're not a 5-star wide receiver away. You're not a edge guy, who could get you 9-10 sacks on the other side of Miles away. You're just really not.
Yeah, I mean, I will say that the NFL is a very tumultuous place. I mean, I believe at the beginning of the season, 2 teams that are in the playoffs this year, both NFC teams, were not, and even on the AFC side with the Broncos, I'm going Broncos, I'm going Washington, and I'm going one other team. Oh, Minnesota. All 3 of those teams, I don't think anyone had any high expectations. And I think on the realistic side, I think people had very low expectations for those teams entering these seasons. And all of them came out, had fantastic seasons in their own rights. And I think the Browns could very much be one of those teams next year if they, are serious about making the changes necessary. Obviously, Kevin's got to find his perfect match OC this time, because this is the last time. He's not going to get a fourth shot.
Yep. Nope, he's not.
And, whoever he brings in with the, OC at O-line, it's got to be the best guy possible. And then on the flip end of that, Barry's got to do the most amazing job possible, free agency, drafting, and making the most out of whatever he gets back in this team if Joel Bitonio doesn't come back, if Myles Garrett needs a trade. It's going to be a very, carnival ride kind of offseason for this team. And you've already seen it start in the last 2 days. So I'm sure that Jeff and I will be together much more often this offseason, if not at least for some scouting reports and some draft stuff. So, Jeff, anything else before we call this one a quits?
And it's going to be doom and gloom postseason, offseason. It should be. It should be negativity. It should be, it should be stupidity and stuff like that. But Andrew Berry says it today. Oh, well, the team that drafted second last year, has a road playoff game this week. When have this franchise shown to be that? And I know Washington for years and it could happen like this. It could. Do you think of Jaden Daniels coming out of this draft? I personally don't.
Not unless I hear a Penn State wins the national championship.
You think that a Cliff Kingsbury is hanging around on the offensive coordinator block? I don't know. I don't know.
It's very fair.
It's
very
whatever. We'll be here along the way.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Everyone, make sure you guys are following us for Browns, Cavs, and hopefully some new stuff in the future. Going to talk to Jeff about that today. But make sure you guys are subscribed. Hit the bell notification button. Hit the like on this video and leave a comment. Let us know what you guys think of this poor season that the Browns had. What do you think of the future? And with that all being said, we'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.